Hey everyone, welcome to Next Corner. I'm Nick. Today we're going to talk about My Dark Vanessa for a book review. I was supposed to borrow this book from a few different people at work. COVID-19 hit, and I really wanted to read this sooner rather than later, as it has just come out, and I wanted to do a review closer to its release date than further away. So I bought my own copy, which I am so happy I did because this is something that I want in my library. This book is powerful and interesting and gripping. Very, very gripping. It's about a young 15-year-old girl named Vanessa who had an affair with her teacher, but she can't see past herself to notice what it was, which was abuse. This book is very tied to the Me Too movement and sort of explains why a lot of women don't come forward early on. And I thought it was a very interesting telling of a story that showed the manipulation of the older man or the person in power to get what he wanted and to maintain that power, and to show how manipulating it is towards the other person that they're trying to lock into place. The usage of literature in this book is phenomenal. They talk about Lolita a lot, which to me is one of the most well-written stories I've ever read. It's not a story that I think is the best story ever, and the content of the story is actually quite disturbing. However, the way that Novikov can write is phenomenal and beyond anything that I've read from a lot of authors. So My Dark Vanessa definitely pulls from that and is heavily influenced by a lot of things going on with that era of the world. However, it pulls us back to reality. We are at the point of view of the victim as opposed to the abuser this time, unlike Lolita. We get to see where the victim's thoughts are. And in the moments, the victim is always against what's happening, but is convinced later either by the oppressor or her own self-thought that has actually enjoyed it. She wants it to be a love story, and it's not. And this book is very graphic and very dark, and I think it's important for people to read it. Now, I heard there was controversy about people not liking the book because they thought it was romanticizing abuse, and I did not get that from this book. I can see it's sort of like white supremacists really liking American History X. You have missed the point of the whole story if you think that this is romanticizing abuse, because it's not. What it is doing is showing you what abuse can look like and how abuse can go under the radar and be turned into something else just by manipulation. And that's what this story is doing. And I gave it a 5 stars. It was an amazing read. I did it in 2 sittings. I couldn't believe how well written it was. Kate Russell did a phenomenal job, and I am looking forward to more work by her. But this book, I think, is going to be very influential to young women or women in general everywhere. And I think it's something that might stand the test of time because it does point out what is acceptable and what isn't. When you're reading it, you can tell what isn't acceptable. But if you are starting to romanticize it like Vanessa does inside the story, and you don't grasp the meaning behind the romanticization, you're missing the point of the story. And I think that is a very compelling part of the story. I think that if you just like a dark tale, if you like something that's offbeat but very well told, this is definitely the book for you. Um, if you are a young woman, I would probably suggest reading this, just so that you know what abuse can look like, so that you can treat yourself better and know when you're in a bad situation to get out. Now, this doesn't cover every situation, but it does cover a manipulative situation. Whenever I ever heard of an older person telling a younger girl that they were mature for their age, that is not them paying a compliment to the young girl about her being mature for her age. That is the old pervert trying to find what is acceptable for him, trying to make him feel good about it. So it just that turn of phrase has always made me cringe whenever I heard that. And that was something that was in this book that made me cringe, was when the teacher says to Vanessa, you know, you're very mature for your age. And really what he is saying is that he wants her to feel that way so she feels like an adult, so that she feels like she's making adult decisions as a child. In which case, he's going to take advantage of those adult decisions by slowly manipulating her into the way he wants her to be. And that is one of the things that always makes me cringe, because I have been around McDonald's where there were people there who were like 20 dating a 15-year-old and 16-year-old, and that's not nearly as bad as what's going on in this book, but it's still along the same lines. And I heard that line of, you're mature for your age, and the fact of the matter is they're not. That's just a line that these predators are using to make themselves feel good about what they are doing. Anyway, I've gone on a long rant about abuse and stuff on here, and I found it to be a very interesting and compelling read. I highly recommend checking it out and giving it a go. And I think that is where I'm going to leave this off. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope my ramblings were at least somewhat coherent. So have a great day, guys, and we will talk to you later. Take care.